So for our presenters panel, we are collaborating with Citrus College. We do have our outreach, recruitment, and educational partnerships. And as well as we do have our Cal Poly Pomona's Registrars office. And so, as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and provide you with a lot of information from Citrus and receiving that ADT or learning how to apply for the ADT, and then how it's going to be applicable at Cal Poly Pomona once you decide to transfer over. And so with that, we'll pass it over to Citrus.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria LeDuc, and I'm a transfer advisor in the Career and Transfer Center at Citrus College. Some of you may have met with me before, but I'm excited to join this presentation to go over more detailed information about the associate degree for transfer and go over specific details about this special degree. Okay, so the first part we're looking at is, what is an associate degree for transfer? So some of you may have, you may already be working on this degree, or maybe this is the first time you're hearing about it. But the associate degrees, also known as ADTs, are two-year associate degrees offered at the California community colleges, and they're fully transferable to CSU campuses or to the CSU system. So there's two different types of associate degrees for transfer. One of them is the AAT, which is the Associate of Arts for Transfer. And the second one is the AST, which is the Associate of Science for Transfer. If you choose to work on an ADT, the one that you're going to be working on, whether it's the AA or the AS, that's going to be dependent on your major. So there are a lot of benefits to earning the associate degree for transfer. One of them is that you're guaranteed admission into the CSU system with junior standing. So that's a really key point, because some students think that, you know, with completing the associate degree for transfer, it's guaranteeing them admission into the schools that they're applying to. But that's not actually the case. So what the ADT is doing for you, if you're earning an ADT, is it's guaranteeing you admission into the CSU system in the event that you should be denied into the campuses that you're applying to. So there is priority admission consideration to your local CSU campus, which for Citrus College, that would be Cal Poly Pomona. As long as the program is deemed similar. So that's something that you would definitely want to check in an appointment with a counselor. We have ways of looking into that for you. So as long as your program is deemed similar, that's just a fancy way of saying as long as it matches the undergraduate program that you're applying under at the university, then you will be receiving priority admission consideration. So you go into a different category than the other applicants that are applying without the ADT. Students are required to complete no more than 60 units after they transfer to earn a bachelor's degree. So that's another really good perk of the ADT. So when you get to the university, if the ADT is deemed similar, then you're only held to 60 units once you're at the university in order to get your bachelor's degree. So at Citrus College, we currently offer 28 ADTs. Again, the ADT will guarantee students transfer admission into the CSU system, but not into the CSU campuses that you're applying to. So these are the 28 ADTs that we offer at Citrus College. We have quite a few. I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment to just take a look at that list and see if your major is under the list. If your major is under this list and you see that we do offer an ADT under your major, but you haven't yet taken a look at the requirements or seen or looked at how far away you are from completing this degree, we definitely encourage you to set up an appointment with a counselor so that we can go ahead and do what's called a graduation check to see how far away you are from earning this degree. So how do you complete an associate degree for transfer? There will be major requirements that that you will have to follow. You will also be required to complete a general education pattern, specifically the CSU general ed pattern or the IGETC pattern, one or the other. You also need to have a minimum of a 2.0 GPA in order to earn the ADT from Citrus College. However, just a quick side note on that 2.0, we do encourage you to aim higher than the 2.0. But the 2.0, though it may award you the degree at Citrus College, you still want to have a very competitive GPA when you're applying to the CSU campuses. And that's just because we may be looking at impaction under your major or impaction under the universities. So because of that, we want you to be more competitive. So though the 2.0 will earn you the ADT, we do encourage you to aim higher than a 2.0. In addition, you want to make sure that you've successfully completed a minimum of at least 12 units at Citrus College in residency. The reason that we have that fourth bullet there is because we do see a lot of students that transfer into Citrus College from other California community colleges. And while that's okay, in order to earn any associate's degree from Citrus College, you do have to have the residency requirement met from Citrus, which is a minimum of at least 12 units completed at Citrus. So this is just an example of one of our ADT degrees. Sorry that the print is a little bit tiny, but this is taken directly off of our Citrus College website under our degrees that are posted. And this is the example of the ADT in psychology. But this is a good way to review your major requirements. You can access information about major requirements for any ADT from the 28 that we listed on our website. So if we're looking, for example, at the ADT in psychology, we're seeing a list of what the major preparation is. And keep in mind, just a reminder, as an example of this degree, we also want to make sure that you're following a general education pattern, which would be the CSU GE pattern or the IGETC. So there is a way to find out whether or not your specific ADT is deemed similar to your intended major at the CSU campus. There are a lot of steps to follow to find this information out. We understand that. So we do encourage you to also make an appointment with a counselor if you need help in finding out whether or not your ADT is deemed similar to the campuses that you're applying to. But if you want to look into this information on your own, we do have a website that you can refer to, and it's called A Degree with a Guarantee. This is what we as counselors use to find this information for students. So once you're in the website, you would click on Find Your Path, and from there, you would find your ADT, and then select your community college, Citrus College. Then from there, you'd look at the Cal States. You would be able to check mark all Cal States that you're going to be applying to. If after check marking your Cal State, you see the major that you want to apply under at the university, if you see that listed, then that means it's deemed similar. If you don't see it listed, that means that it's not deemed similar. So what happens if the ADT is deemed similar? Then you will be receiving a GPA bump if the major and or the campus is impacted. How much of a GPA bump? We're looking at a 0.1 GPA bump. So you will also, as mentioned before, you will be receiving a priority consideration. So you're going into a different category than other applicants applying under the same major, but without an ADT. And again, you only have to complete 60 units once you're at the university. Also, keep in mind, some majors, if they're impacted, they do require supplemental criteria, which may be prerequisite courses or a higher GPA requirement. If that's the case, but you have an ADT that's deemed similar, then you're not held to the supplemental criteria for that university. However, as counselors, it is our responsibility to still advise you to work on completing that supplemental criteria because we still want you to be a competitive applicant. Plus, we as a transfer student, the goal should be to look at completing as much lower division at your community college as possible prior to transfer, if that's your goal. Some students are okay with transferring without all of their lower division major courses and working on some of those at the university. But most students want to complete everything at Citrus and not have to worry about those courses once they transfer over. So even though supplemental criteria won't be required if you have an ADT, we still encourage you to work on that supplemental criteria.
All right, thank you. And I am up next. And thank you for being here with us today. Thank you, Xiomara and Edward, for putting this event together. My name is Dulce Guerrero. I'm one of the outreach counselors from the Office of Outreach, Recruitment, and Educational Partnerships, one of 5. And today, I'm also going to be providing a little bit of tips regarding the associate degree for transfer, specifically when applying. If you're one of those students that is thinking of submitting an application for the upcoming fall of 2021, there's some tips that I would like to recommend. All right, so as Maria was indicating, the associate degree for transfer, this is the official site where you can go in to find the college to find out if the particular institution that you are attending actually has a degree deemed similar. And basically, as Maria was indicating, it's not just only making sure that we have similar degrees, but also similar emphasis or focuses. So make sure that you double check for that, because although we have majors that are deemed similar, not all of the emphasis and focuses may be approved. So it's imperative that you definitely go on the website and you check it out. As I was saying, when you're getting ready to submit your application on Cal State Apply, it's very important that as you're creating your account and taking care of the extended profile, that you make sure that you address your questions accordingly. There has to be a match with the type of student that you're identifying yourself with, and the ability to later on enter the type of degree that you are going to be receiving from the community college that you're indicating on your educational page. So again, the extended profile, in the event that you do a mistake and you need to go back to it, just quickly to the left-hand side, when you log into your Cal State Apply application on the upper right, you should be able to see your name with a little arrow that points down. When you click on that little arrow, you should be able to get different tabs. And again, that is the way that you can access the extended profile in the event that you need to revise it and make any changes. But when you are selecting your degree goal, everyone that is here today should be indicating a first bachelor's degree. So as you see on the description, it says that this is the option for students that are seeking their first bachelor's degrees. Then it's going to ask you what best describes you as your current educational status. So again, it's asking you there if you are going to be transferring with an associate's degree for transfer, or if you're going to be transferring without. So again, make sure that you indicate the proper answer, because the application is very intuitive. And again, based on how you respond, it will allow you or it will not allow you to actually do certain entries. The other thing that I wanted to bring it up to your attention is the educational status here. Students should be selecting that they're transferring with that AAT if they are going to be getting one from Citrus Community College. So when you get to the point of doing your academic entry and you are going to be asked to report all of the community colleges for your institutions that you have attended, and again, if in the degree goal you indicated that you were going to get an associate degree for transfer, you should be able to make that, select this information here on this part of the entry. If you indicated that you were just going to be a regular transfer student without an ADT, and let's just say you're getting ready to enter your college information and you accidentally put down that you're getting an ADT when originally you said that you were not, it's not going to allow you to do that, and it's going to give you an error message. So again, make sure that what's included in the extended profile is a match to the type of degree that you're going to put under the colleges attended. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up to your attention, Cal Poly Pomona is not taking applications that are deemed from lower division applicants. So again, when you're doing your application under the credit hour or unit question, make sure that you indicate that you will have 60 units or more. If you indicate that you will have fewer than 60 units, when you get ready to select your institution, it's not going to give you the option for Cal Poly Pomona because, again, we're not accepting applications for what we call lower division transfer applicants, meaning that those students are going to have under 60 units. So a couple of things to keep in mind if you are going to be applying for the fall of 2021. I know that your campus has specific deadlines in terms of when you need to declare your associate degree for transfer and when you need to do proper applications for that. For our particular institution, if you are going to be applying with that associate degree for transfer, your actual requirements, your minimum requirements for transfer that include your 60 units, the Golden 4, etc., and your associate degree for transfer requirements, they have to be completed no later than the spring term prior to fall enrollment. So if you're applying for this fall of 2021, the targeted time that you need to complete your associate degree for transfer requirements has to also be the spring term, the upcoming spring term. And some deadlines for you to keep in mind: the application opened up October 1st and it's going to go all the way to December the 4th. This is the first year that we've extended past the November 30th deadline, and that's because of a holiday. We did receive notification from our chancellor's office that oversees the 23 Cal states to go ahead and extend that for this particular filing period. Also know that as students, you are able to input all of your courses that you have done to date from the very beginning of attending your institutions. You're going to report that on your Cal State Apply application. And you're going to also be able to put your fall grades in progress and anything planned for up until spring semester. Just know that you will have the ability to go to your Cal State Apply account and upload your fall grades. So make sure that you're paying attention to the electronic email communication that you're receiving so that when you get the notice that you can go on your application and upload those fall grades, that you go ahead and you do that. Decisions are going to be coming out in February and March. Also, your acceptance and enrollment confirmation. If you are admitted to Cal Poly Pomona, they're going to ask you to do your admittance and your enrollment confirmation deposit of $150 that is not refundable by May 1st deadline. If you're also a student that actually has taken AP examinations, you scored 3 or higher, and you would like Cal Poly Pomona to provide you that credit, make sure that you submit your official scores by July 15, and your final transcripts that include your spring grades. Also, they're going to have that official request on your Bronco Direct portal, which is the student portal that Cal Poly Pomona will give you access to check the progress of your application. You will also have your to-do list there, so any items that are requested by either the Office of Admissions or Financial Aid, they will be posted on your to-do list with a description and a deadline of when to turn that in. So again, hold off on sending any documentation until you see it on your to-do list, but final transcripts will be due July 15 as well. And just as another reminder, the application is $70 to process, so you will be typing one application, you will be able to route it to as many Cal states as you like, but just be mindful that each will bill you $70 to process your application. The application does have embedded a fee waiver, so there's some questions about your household income and family size. Definitely encourage everyone to do the entry and make sure that you get it done. Down the road, you're going to be able to check as you progress on your application if you receive the waiver. If you do receive the waiver, you will be able to route your application to 4 Cal states and you will not be charged or billed for the $70 each. So a couple of things here, you will see our 5 representatives that we have, and Eddie is in the center, your actual representative at Citrus. And do know that even though we are teaching and going virtual at the moment, our instruction is going to go virtual until the end of spring semester. Our offices are still working remotely, so do know that there's ways to get connected. Not only can you look into continuing with virtual campus tours, we offer them Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. We also have live walk-in sessions, and we try to have them in the morning and in the afternoon to give students an opportunity to connect. If you have a quick question, you can certainly connect, access our website, and get the Zoom invitation from our website. And again, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, there's a representative available from 9 to 11, and Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4. There are some exclusions when we have events, but again, for the most part, we are there to assist students with quick questions. We also continue with pre-admission advising, so if you want to actually meet with a representative, We have a counselor on duty Monday through Friday, and we are available between the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we still continue with our contacts with the community colleges. We're also providing still virtual visitations where the community colleges are putting together, they're actually advertising the dates that we're going to be there, and they actually take care of our appointments. So again, that's another resource that you have at Citrus campus with our wonderful representative, Eddie. So a couple of events that I want to bring up to your attention. If you're interested in getting to know a little bit more about Cal Poly Pomona, get acclimated with our academic departments, hear a little bit more about the major and what they have to offer, we are going to have 2 events worth of wonderful opportunities for students to connect virtually. It's a free event. And again, all you have to do is RSVP and access the invitations, the Zooms. It's 2 weeks because we're going to have the first 4 weeks four academic colleges present, and then the latter week we're going to have another 4 academic colleges represent. And also on Friday, students are going to be able to select workshops with different campus partners, and we're going to have the Office of Financial Aid, EOP, virtual campus tours available. So again, take advantage if you want to get to know a little bit more about Cal Poly Pomona. This is a wonderful event that I definitely encourage students to participate in if they want to hear more detailed information. So Poly Nights, in the event that you are not able to connect with us during our Explore CPP event, there are some Poly Nights that are coming up. Now, we already had one this actual Tuesday, and it was very successful. We're having another one coming up on Saturday, November the 14th. But if you're looking for like a quick overview, our campus partners are given about 10 minutes each to present about what they have to offer and provide you with tips. Definitely, there's one more event coming up. And again, it's going to be an event where we're going to have different campus partners providing information really quickly, a quick presentation. And again, the time goes by very quickly. But again, as I was telling you, this past Tuesday, we had the first event and it was a great success. So again, I encourage you, if you're not able to attend the previous one, look into our Poly Night that's coming up. But also do know that the exception to the rule at this particular event, you will not be able to connect with academic colleges. That is more for the Explore CPPC event. And this is my contact information, although Eddie is the actual representative for Citrus. In addition to Eddie, you can certainly also connect with me. If there's any questions, my email address is provided there. Our actual number to our office is there. We actually have right now software that we are utilizing where we can actually answer our phones through our computer. So again, if you have any questions, make sure that you get connected. Thank you for your time.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Camry Carls. I'm the lead transfer and graduation advisor here at Cal Poly Pomona. And joining me is my colleague, Gus Martinez. He's also a transfer and graduation advisor. And today we're going to be kind of talking about a brief overview of the Registrar's office and what our office does, and also how our office deals with the ADT process and what that kind of looks like for our office as well as you as a prospective student. So first we'll kind of go over an overview of our office. So what is the Registrar's office and what do we do? I think most students are probably very familiar with the admissions office, but there may be some misunderstandings about the Registrar's office and what we do. But in our office, there are 2 primary areas. There is our records and registration area, who are comprised of record specialists who handle things like class registration. We oversee the class registration process. Grading, if students want to change their majors, they would do that through our office. Also, if students need to take a break or need to be away from school for a certain period of time, they can fill out what's called a leave of absence, and our office processes those, and as well as other administrative functions that are specifically related to student records. We also have our evaluation and graduation area, which Gus and I both work under, which is comprised of our transfer and graduation advisors, or as we like to refer to ourselves as TGAs. And we also have some evaluators who help us evaluate and post-transfer credit. So some of our functions in our area are transfer credit posting for continuing students. We perform degree progress evaluations. So at our campus, it's called a degree progress report, which is your degree audit, basically, which is a document that basically lists the requirements that you've met here at Cal Poly for both your general education requirements as well as your major requirements. And then it also shows you what it is that you still have to complete with us in order to earn a degree. And so our team also spends a lot of amount of our time adjusting and updating those degree progress reports based on current information that we have from you as a student, whether that's new incoming transfer work that you have or petitions that you've submitted for certain requirement exceptions towards your degree. We process all of those. And then at the end of your academic career, once you've completed all of your degree requirements, we perform a graduation check of your records and post your degree at the appropriate time. We also work very closely with our departments and department advisors to make sure that you as a student are on track towards graduation during the, well, it's probably going to be 2 years for you if you're coming in as a transfer student. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the ADT process here at Cal Poly. So once you are confirmed by our admissions office, again, admissions office is the one who initially determines whether or not you have received an ADT before transferring to Cal Poly. Once you have been identified by our admissions office as having an ADT, which is based off of your final transcript with that ADT indicator on there, you are coded in our system as an ADT student, and there will be a message at that point that will be displayed on your degree progress report, which tells anyone, any advisor, anyone looking at your degree audit that you are an ADT student. You are connected with advisors within your college to access roadmaps and plan your course selection based off of the ADT. The transfer and graduation advisors partner with your college advisors to monitor your student progress towards the 60 units that you have remaining towards your degree requirements. But in order to be confirmed as an ADT student at Cal Poly, the transcript with your ADT awarded needs to be submitted along with your final transcripts. And that deadline for the fall this year is July 15th, I believe. So just keep that in mind when you need to have that submitted, because that will be very helpful for admissions and our office to know ahead of time that you are ADT certified. And at this time, I'll hand it over to Gus.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gus. I'm the Transfer Graduation Advisor for the College of Business. And so I'm going to go over some of the benefits of an ADT at Cal Poly Pomona. So students enter with a junior standing. Continuing registration appointments are based on class standing, so that's a huge benefit to come in as a junior. Students enter with lower division GE certification, meaning that all your lower division GE courses are certified with an ADT degree. Students have completed some lower division major requirements. Because you are earning an ADT in a particular major, let's say in the College of Business, a lot of the ADT courses already include some of the prerequisites for continuing a degree in business. So a lot of those are taken out of the way, and those prerequisites are satisfied for upper division courses. You have the guarantee of graduating within 60 units. Things to keep in mind. So the ADT is only applicable if you enter Cal Poly with a similar major. So for example, I'm going to focus on the College of Business because that's what I know. If you earned an ADT or AST in business administration, the College of Business will recognize it as that. And so you will have that degree earned, being that it was in the similar major. It is possible to earn an AAT or AST at the community college and not be admitted into the ADT program at Cal Poly. So either if you earned it in something other than business, or you earned it in like accounting or anything like that, it won't be recognized, as well as if you earned it in a different major that wasn't approved, or we don't have that agreement with the community college. However, regardless if you are admitted to Cal Poly as an ADT or not, your lower division GE is still certified. I do want to clarify that there are upper division courses within the GE program here at Cal Poly that you need to take, and those will not be recognized. So anything in areas A through E for lower division will be certified with the ADT, but within area B, C, and D, there are 3 upper division courses that you need to take that comprise of 9 units, so 1 class in each of those areas, and the ADT does not cover those, so just be mindful of that. Additional things to keep in mind: if you change your major, add a second major, or add a minor, your ADT status is removed and the 60-unit guarantee no longer applies. So if you came in as a business administration ADT and then decided to change to psychology, the benefits that you've received within the College of Business will no longer be applied to the major for psychology. And then you wouldn't be able to get the one in psychology because, again, you should have came in as that. But what you do have is the GE certification. So I jumped to like the third point. The GE certification does apply. So regardless if you switch that, we still will include that GE certification. So it does still keep that lower division GEs completed. And again, if you do decide to change or make any changes, it does result in a potential delay. The reason that it delays it, if you do a second major or minor, is because that 60-unit guarantee is no longer, because you are adding more units when you pick up a second major or a minor. And just a big thank you for coming today. If you follow this hashtag CPP together, you can see some of the notes that different staff and faculty and students have included on there during this pandemic. And so just a little bit of positive highlights on there if you want to check those out and get some positive messages. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and transition over to our next slide. And so we just want to say thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you were able to receive a lot more information in terms of the ADT process at Citrus, through the application, as well as through what is it going to look like at Cal Poly Pomona. So we have various workshops coming your way. One of the ways that you can go ahead and be informed or stay up to date with some of the workshops we are having would be by filling out the interest form. So in the chat box, we'll also provide the link to the interest form so that you can go ahead and submit it, and we'll be emailing you our weekly workshops so that you can be up to date. We do also promote them through Instagram. So if you have Instagram and you would like to go ahead and follow us, that's where we normally promote the workshops of the week as well as for the day. And so we do hope that you can go ahead and follow us through Instagram. With that said, I just want to go ahead and say thank you so much to our presenters for collaborating with us and delivering this important information to our students. And I do want to say thank you to our students for joining us, and we hope that this is as very beneficial as you begin to submit your applications for Cal State Apply.